What's up, guys? It's Agent 98. And after a weekend of watching a new sequel for the Monsters and also Best Around, I decided to look at myself and do the and not just that, but also to see how it compares to its predecessor and possibly other Godzilla past. But other than that, for a month full of Endgame, it's time to shift on. To Godzilla should be from the sky. So, round one, let's begin. To start off, the plot is just one big convoluted mess. It starts simple, as it's shown that it starts right during Godzilla's battle with the Mutos in 2014. And next thing we know, we fast forward 5 years and we start getting hit right smack in the face with a bunch of stuff that happens, such as a device that controls monsters and a bunch of eco-terrorists wanting it for their own gain. Now the plot is something that bothers me because for some reason I view it as less Godzilla and more like Thanos from Infinity War and his decimation plan, which he actually ends up succeeding, by the way, for those who haven't watched it. So this eco-terrorist organization decides to purge the world by having the monsters dominate it. However, as one of the few good characters portrays it, which is Serizawa, obviously, that there is always a ruler to rule them all. And instead of humanity having Godzilla as a pet, they would be his. And he would toy with them however he wants. Now, throughout the course of the movie, we know that it's not just Godzilla that inhabits the Earth, but there's also many other smaller creatures that are called Titans. And I'm not talking about those 8-foot weird-looking types that you see in that popular anime and manga. I'm talking about these monsters, these types, and it's said that they inhabit the Earth all over the world in a dormant state, waiting for their call to wake up. So the Eco Organization thought it'd be best to wake them up and let them loose all around the planet with the control of that device, which to any G fan knows that it's a bad idea. Because if you guys seen Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, they tried that with Project T and it failed twice. It doesn't get any more proof than that, but they still do it anyway. And so they go to the South Pole, which hasn't been seen since 2004 in Final Wars, and wake the monster up, which is known as Ghidorah. And they try to awaken it, they have a bridge standoff of some sort. But then they kind of closely parody the moment of Godzilla Final Wars where he bursts through the ice and attacks the monsters. In this case, KG, but he loses that time and he flies away, enveloped in a cyclone of some sort. The characters then go set afoot and try to follow Godzilla as he tries to pursue his old arch nemesis. However, the military, as usual, gets in the way, and they actually reference an old weapon of hasn't been heard of since 1954, the Oxygen Destroyer, which, if you saw the original Godzilla movie, it has the capacity to annihilate an entire planet if fallen into the wrong hands. Because, as the name suggests, it takes out all the oxygen in the air and water, killing all organisms dependent on it. like Godzilla. They do launch it, however, it looks nothing like the original Oxygen Destroyer that killed his ancestor in 1954. However, it actually surprisingly does the job, as it does kill him, or so they thought. With no Godzilla this time around, the monsters wake all over the world and begin to wreak havoc and kill a lot of people. While that's going on, Mothra awakes in the other side of the world and flies towards Godzilla's location. Seemingly enough, she doesn't listen to King Ghidorah's call of monsters awakening. So while they're all destroying the world, she flies over the ocean to Godzilla's supposed location, where apparently it's said that they communicate with each other, as he is shown to be weak, and they decide to revive him with a nuke. Something that was really similar to that one scene in Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, where they sent a submarine down to make a Godzillasaurus turn to Godzilla, only to find out that he never left, and he grew even larger than before. Much to their dismay when they found out. And then the two then proceed to fight Ghidorah in Boston, nonetheless, which has never been seen in a Godzilla movie, unless you count Godzilla Save the Earth as an appearance. But anyway, he wins, they all bow down to the king, and that's that. Yep, that was the whole plot. Thought they'd be more interesting and less human-centered and more focused on the monsters, but it appears they still haven't learned from their mistakes of old. Now here we go to the nitty-gritty monster designs. As said, they're going to redesign Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah. It's disappointing to downright awesome. So let's start with the awesome. King Ghidorah, the main archenemy, Godzilla. His design is largely based on the animation Ghidorah from 1991, and with, I believe, some influences of the Cretaceous version of himself in 1998. I've seen it before like this. His design was really true to the original heads were dead. They'd stick to the spiky facial features and what have you. Honestly, I think what you will see from he's even shown that part of regeneration himself. Shown until just one of his heads off. He's shown just thus sticking true to that height. His atomic breath, his lightning gravity beams are incredibly amazing, better than what most Toho's effects of him were. Final Ghidorah was actually pretty good effects, but yeah, his monster design is amazing. I mean, his horns to his feet, his tail. Warner Brothers, Cartoon Network, Legendary, Syncope, whoever did this, they really nailed it. But I could say differently about the head, but that'll be for another time. Overall, the Ghidorah design was amazing and breathless once I saw it for the first time, mainly because I didn't see any trailers. The design for Mothra was a bit intriguing for me. Well, for starters, because in the legendary version, they actually redesigned her to look more like also, she looks massive. I mean massive. Let's see this poster right here. Another thing they did with Mothra is that they made her bioluminescent of some sort. And what really pleased me about the design is that there's no annoying twins that are the size of a pair of scissors seen anywhere. However, they do allude references to them. I've seen in family photos and during the scene itself where one of the characters has a twin sister who witnesses the origins she looks ferocious, and I mean fierce. Fiercer than her 2001 design, which is also designed by Toho and portrayed with pure CGI. I mean, when you look at her in up close shots of her when she's about to attack, she looks like she's gonna kill you. She has like an intent to murder and pillage, and that's what, for me, I'm really excited because I saw Gina McKay. I knew that Mothra was going to have to be the best, because that was how she was supposed to be in the first place. A giant moth with intentions to kill, whether or not necessary. All up. However, the thing that gives me back from that design is they kind of stray a bit too. Supposed to represent what Mothra looks like close, but it looks like less Mothra and more of, well, Spectrum or something like that. And also, I kinda got disappointed she actually poison skin powder to get her antibodies. But for me to find her weapons, at least I couldn't put some poison skin. Nice design, amazing close-ups, amazing features, but lack of authenticity. And now on to my least favorite monster design, Ram. I know maybe it's or something, but in the end, Rodan is a radiated pterosaur that also look like his 1956 incarnation. I just don't see it. I mean, I like the fact that he's just covered in lava everywhere he goes. I mean, that's a photo that should look like back in 1903. But in all, his roar sounds off. Yeah. His appearance looks from cool in the distance to weird in close. Well, it's probably this one. He also has zero screen time. I like that he's once again a villain. She fights Mothra in the finale. Something that he should have put inside him was like a radiant heat beam. And maybe some supersonic speed, like breaking the sound barrier. But that's what I was. Either way, it didn't do good with this one. Overall, they had some good technique, like covering him in his fight, but mostly they should have just stuck to his traditional designs and maybe some traditional beams for him. Walking Dead composer. This was a really good interpretation of the old Godzilla themes. Godzilla's theme, it was bold and dramatic. You know, style that was similar to Ifukube's Godzilla March from 1991. And it was amazing. It played several times in theaters. I got hyped when I heard that theme. And the rest of the audience looked at me weirdly when I was tapping along. I don't understand G-Fans. On the side of that, Office theme was actually pretty good as well. I mean, it wasn't as good as the old composers, as it took some vibes from 1961, and I really wish they could have used a bit of 1992 and 2003 into that mix. But anyway, it was still a good interpretation of the theme. King Ghidorah's though, it was okay, but it could have done better. Unfortunately, it wasn't in the movie itself, so you had to listen to it on YouTube to see how that was. And they didn't use the old damn thing, which was pretty disappointing. They went good on the top. I would sing as the prisoners, they would be used maybe we could hear King Ghidorah's theme. Godzilla vs. Kong, because remember, if you've seen the post-credit scene, really bored up gibberish type of thing. King Ghidorah's head, the one that Godzilla tore off in Mexico. Off the coast of Mexico. And they decided to buy it so they can resume their plans for world domination and stuff like that. Well, yeah. That what sums it up for monster things. It went from good to... I just went from good to bad in that order. And overall, any last minute notes? Well, so far it's slightly better than the first one, but yet it's worse in some measures. Like for starters, they still can make a good human plot, and as a consequence they focus more on them than on the monsters themselves. And the monster fights are more like fights and not teasing people like what happened in the last time. And along with their unnecessary killing off of the most vital characters that gave the franchise strength. Basically, I'm talking about Serizawa and Sally Hawkins' character. I mean, those two were the ones driving the movie, but then they decided to pull Bryan Cranston and kill them off one of them pretty early. But I like the references to past G-films and non-G-films, because they kind of replicate them of some sort in the new one, like Serizawa and his sacrifice, and the year numbers of some monster appearances, and the addressing of King Ghidorah's Monster Zero, as it was called that in the English version of Astro Monster. The things that I kind of hate that they did was they shoehorned Stranger Things into the film. And they also kind of copied Infinity War in terms of their little salvation plan, which involved purging the earth, leaving it under control of the monsters, which is so similar to the decimation, only without the snapping of the fingers. And this boring subplot about what is right, what is wrong, and if it's going to bring this guy back, etc., etc. And the overuse of the cliche of a monster inadvertently saving the characters at the last minute. It makes me believe everybody else should have perished on Rogue One style. But they're still under for their mistakes, considering that they only made $49 million box office this weekend. At least on our side. It's gonna be tough for RPGs later if they're gonna continue on this path. And I'm talking about well, aside from the neat references and cute cameos and all that, I still have a long way to go to some of the best of this work in the 80s and 90s and 60s. So for this particular one, we're displaying just two separate ones. One for the serious G fans and one for the more casual average movie. So for a very casual moviegoer, I give it an 8.8 out of 10. It's some really good monster action and some good scenes. Maybe the deep plot for each other, etc., etc. You get the gist. But for a casual G-Force, for a really serious G-Force, I have to give it a 6.0 out of 10. I will, because it does some things that 2014 didn't run right, but it flips some of things 2014 did right to the other side. In a way, they're stuck in the same boat. But yeah, so unless you don't mind the boring subplots, Stranger Things inclusion, anything that's not related to giant monsters duking it out for world supremacy, then this isn't really for you. But if you want to see if it's good, it's one of the best G films, it's not. Marvel still has a lot of ground to cover if they want to get to that point. And that's it for this review. Guys, I know some analyses of what's happening in the next couple of days and monsters. So if you like the video, please give it a like. Don't forget to comment your opinions on this movie. And don't forget to subscribe for more me, Christianity, and the rest of my channel. I'll see you next time. So until then, just keep on stalking.